Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Saga, and in today's video I want to talk about why I think software engineering is so important and how it can help you in future careers and what the future workforce may look like. So yeah, let's go into the video. Okay, so one of the reasons why I think software engineering is so important is the fact that it's being taught to school children, which I think is like pretty cool. I mean, when I was in school, I wish that I was taught software engineering instead of using how to use Excel and some other crap like that, which is like typing shit on a keyboard to like make a spreadsheet or whatever, right? But you know, I guess it wasn't probably the time to learn software engineering in school then. But nowadays, yeah, kids, like I said, are learning software engineering. So it kind of, I guess, shows the importance that software engineering will have to play in careers in the future, right? So that's one of my reasons why I think software engineering is a really important skill to know, especially if you want to survive in like the future workplace, where I feel as though software engineering might be one of those skills, right, that you kind of are expected to know, especially for a lot of STEM careers, I should say. Mainly because software engineering can help you do your job much more efficiently and effectively. So that's why I think software engineering is so important, or that's one of the points out of the few that I have that I want to discuss as to why software engineering is so important. Rightio. So the next reason why I think software engineering is such an important skill to learn, at least, is the lucrative nature of being a software engineer. This is Phase Ed Music. Right? And I'm not saying like if you work for someone, you know, you get paid a lot, but you know, that is true. Software engineers do get paid quite a lot, even in comparison to other engineering professions such as aerospace, right? And so I think it's important to understand that software, yes, it's a great skill to have if you want to work for someone, but it's also a really good tool that you can use to start your own company. One of the main reasons with software that makes it easier to start a company with is the fact that you don't have to have huge amounts of startup cost, or like you don't have to have huge amounts of capital to put forward. So for example, if you were to build your own rocket company, for example, you're going to need many millions of pounds or billions of pounds, right, to even just get the thing started, because of the huge costs that are required to build anything physical, right? And with software, if you really want to build a product or something that's purely digital, you don't need much upfront cost, given the fact that, well, you can write software on pretty much any computer, right? And all you need really to get started is an internet connection. And so I think it's kind of cool, right, how you can, in essence, generate money from, you know, lines of code that don't cost anything practically to get off the ground. And that's one of my other reasons why software engineering is really attractive, and what I find cool about being able to write code is that, in essence, you have the potential to just generate money from almost nothing, right? And yeah, I mean, I don't know who would disagree on thinking that's not cool, or wait, that is cool? Yeah. But that's what my second point is about, is just the potential that you have if you understand how to write code. So if the couple of points that I've said has made you think like, software engineering does seem cool, but how do I get started, right? So I think the best way to go about starting off is learning from just like YouTube videos and things like that, who start you off at some basic level of whether it be web development or using Python and whatever, right? So I think it's important first, if you want to learn software engineering, try and figure out what you want to learn, and then try and follow tutorials based off that, and just practice by working on your own projects and so on. And I think in this channel I'm going to put out some videos and tutorials of software engineering, and hopefully they can help you on your journey to become a software engineer, or at least learn the skills associated to becoming able to write code, right? And that's what I have to say. And I don't think it's that hard to pick software engineering up, because like myself, I haven't had a comp sci degree background. I've studied aerospace, and you know, I've come to understand software engineering and also written software myself that has helped me out through various ways. And so yeah, I mean, you know, it's not too bad to learn on your own. It's pretty fine. You just, I guess, have to be a bit dedicated to putting the effort in really to learn it, and that's all I can say. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't cost anything at all really to learn how to program, so I definitely think it's worthwhile exploring if you're interested even in the slightest. Right, just to wrap this video up really, I think it's important to understand, right, like a lot of tech nowadays is really heavily dependent on software. So even hard tech, so when I mean hard tech, I mean stuff like what SpaceX doing, you know, what Airbus, Tesla, anything that builds like physical, I guess, engineering products, I'd class as hard tech. But yeah, so even in those, software engineering is such an integral part of development, right? And it's slowly creeping into everywhere. And what I was discussing with some of my friends that I thought was interesting, right, is, so for example, as an aerospace engineer, I have to do things like computational fluid dynamics simulations using software on a computer, right? And some things made me think, like, you know, what happens in the future where you don't need the skills to perform CFD analysis. You just load in your 3D model of whatever you want to simulate the flow around or through, and then the computer itself will figure out all the meshing and so on, that anything related to what you have to do to model CFD. So I feel as though, you know, if you're able to write the code to do that, then happy days, you know, you're probably going to be a very rich person at the end of the day. And that's how I see the world progressing, especially for hard tech engineering. I think a lot of the design work might be offloaded to algorithms and computers, especially now with the rise of artificial intelligence and machine learning. I think optimization and things like that are going to be more performed by computers rather than engineers themselves. And so I feel as though, you know, software engineering will give you the skill set to still be of use, because you're going to be developing those systems to, I guess, replace those hard tech, you know, pure mechanical or pure aerospace engineers. And something interesting, like I was thinking the other day, right, that what happens in the future, right, maybe there's no such thing as software engineer. Maybe in the future you have aerospace, mechanical, and so on engineers, but they also have a strong understanding of software engineering. And I think software engineering is not a career path in itself. I feel as though software engineering is like a skill that you have. So I think in the future, the way in which engineers are looked at, I don't think software engineers will be a completely separate category like they are nowadays. They may be intertwined with other engineering disciplines. And this kind of makes sense because I guess if you're an engineer, your role is to do something for less money, And if you're able to use software to help you with that, then you know you are an engineer at the end of the day. Okay, well, I hope you found this video insightful and interesting. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you do want to learn more about software engineering and so on, I'm hoping to post some videos on like coding tutorials and things like that, just to sort of help you guys out and show you how you can get started with software engineering. So yeah, I shall see you in my future videos. Thanks for watching, guys. See you around.